where we write and code interactive stories. Today we have two guests, and one of them is Knikole Taylor, and the other one is Caden. So we're going to be exploring storytelling for about third, fourth grade, and we're going to be picking the topic of superpowers, or really whatever Caden wants, but at the original point we were thinking about superpowers. So I think the first question is to have maybe Knikole and Caden introduce themselves, and also kind of your experience with coding and what comes to mind when you first think about coding. So take it away.
Can I go first?
Yeah, you can go
want me to
first.
go first? Okay. My name is Knikole Taylor, and I'm an educator in the Dallas, Texas area. My experience with coding is, I'll say I knew little about computer science until I went to college. So I went to college, and that was like the field. But I think, like that was like 99, 2000. And I tried to soak up as much as possible then, but I think I was just too far behind. And then fast forward, I would say maybe 10, 15 years into my career as an educator, I started to explore computer science as a means to help kids creatively learn problem solving and collaboration. And so I have more experience with like block-based coding, with getting kids really interested through like code.org or CS First. We've done some coding with we have some robots here at home. So mine is more like block-based coding. And so then I brought that home to the kids because it's just fun, right? It's just a fun way to problem solve. And I will say that they know a lot more than me. So Caden, you want to introduce yourself and then tell her what your experience with coding?
My name is Caden Taylor. I'm a fourth grader. I am taking virtual learning. What I've learned about coding is I have I started coding 2-3 years ago.
Oh wow.
My mom came home and she said she brought something. She brought a make it kit home.
Oh, I did. Is it Makey?
Yep.
Makey. Yeah. Super fun.
So she wanted us to try it out. So I tried it out. We did that little beat thing with the banana.
How do you remember that?
So after that, I literally just fell in love with coding.
What do you like about it?
It gives me the space I need to create. It's fun. It's like not only fun but educating in a special way.
Cool. He should have went first.
It's okay. Save the best for last. Okay. So yeah, that's really great. I actually didn't learn really anything about coding until I went to college, because I went to MIT, and I mean, everyone there codes pretty much. It's like 60% of the undergraduate population wants to study computer science.
Yeah. I think everyone there probably codes from birth. At MIT, right?
It's actually kind of funny because the first computer science course that you take at MIT, they kind of just throw you in the water and they just make you learn math, essentially. And you don't actually learn like a language so much. You do get introduced to Python, but everyone I knew who ended up becoming a computer science, most of them, I mean, some of them obviously were like really into coding previously, but a lot of them were just coming in because they were interested or they just wanted to make a lot of money. So they picked computer science as their degree and kind of went that way. So you're already like way ahead of me because I knew nothing about that when I was growing up. So yeah, you mentioned you guys do block-based coding. So elementary is a little bit of the same, but different. So we're just gonna log in and just check it out and start creating our first interactive story. So you could just screen share with me, log in, and basically you guys are the ones who are going to make everything, and my job is to just make sure that, you know, everything kind of works. So, and let you know, let you have any, ideas or help you with the coding part. So yeah, you've logged in, created an account. Creating an account is free. Teachers can also create an account of up to 35 students for free. And let's just go in and click on write a story or the write button. Both of them go to the same place. Yep. And you could just start writing. So you can click on the plus or the start writing button. Either one works. Great. So we have a tutorial. We can actually go through the tutorial, and so we can kind of experience what the coding side looks like. So yeah, you could just click on Start Tutorial, and our objective is to make this dragon fly. So the first step you're going to do is get an animation. So yep, you just follow through and you click on what they tell you to click on, and you can add it to the page by clicking or dragging. It works very similar to PowerPoint, so you can, move it around the page. You can make it bigger or smaller. Some kids like to make it really big for some reason because they can. And once you're ready, you just click on Next to go to the next step. So there's a button, Event Graph. You're going to click on that, and it's going to flip to the back side of the page. So here is where we code all of our interactions. So every page has two sides, a front side and a back side. So you're going to grab a function. You know what a function does?
What's a function?
Code.
Yeah, it's a type. It's very specific vocabulary for code or mathematics. That's correct. And basically, a function is just our action. It's our instructions that we're telling what the computer what to do. So oftentimes it'll be like, go to the left, go to the right, like that. Yeah, so drag it onto the page or click on the block. Both work. And this specific function is animate. And we're going to grab an event. So click on event. Great. And events are orange. And what do you think an event does?
Make it do something?
Yeah, make it do something.
Yeah, so it's telling it when to do something. So in this case, we're going to do it on page start. So you're just going to get that block, bring it over. And then the last thing we need is an object. So if you click on the objects, it's going to bring up all the objects on the page. This page only has a dragon. It's kind of sad. So there's only one object. And you just bring that onto the page. Yeah, so now we have 3 objects. I would recommend putting the orange block on the left-hand side. So the orange block is going to be what starts everything. So yeah, bring it onto the left. Great. Yeah, so you come from a Scratch sort of background, and when people come from a Scratch or code.org background, the first thing they want to do is connect the blocks together and clip them together. Yeah. And they're like, why is it not snapping? And that's because... Yeah, I do this with a lot of teachers, and they bring the blocks over, and they're like, why it doesn't snap? And it's a little bit different. So let's click on next to, actually let's move over the animate so you have a little bit more space between the blocks. It'll make it a little easier later. Or not that one, the green one, sorry. Yeah, just space it out a little. Yeah, that's good. so click on next or continue or whatever it is. And now we need to connect the blocks together. So how do we do that?
Drag the white triangle of the on page start block to the white triangle on the animate block. So we're gonna have to drag this triangle to that triangle. Yeah, okay. Then connect the purple circle of the dragon block to the purple circle of the animate block. Okay.
All right, great.
All the blocks are connected. Oh, we have to choose an animation.
Yeah, so the dragon's kind of sad. It only has one animation that you can choose. It can only fly. So you just select the animation, you click preview.
And so does it take us to the other side now? Oh, so that's kind of cool. So it's one side where you tell it what to do and then another side where you get to see it.
So you have basically one side, which is your layout and your design side. It's like your PowerPoint, Google Slides side. So you can exit out and yeah. So this, the back side is where we code. And the front side is where we design and we write our story. So for younger students, you can just use like just the PowerPoint or Google Slides side. You don't even have to go to the coding side. But starting from, I think, second grade even, you can start coding and adding different animations or voiceovers or music, things like that to your story. So let's actually go back to the layout design side. Oh, and also, like you notice, it's very different from Scratch. And one of the things is this is called a node-based visual programming environment. So that's just a fancy way of saying we connect blocks together using circles or nodes. And this is used in professional software. So are you familiar with games like Fortnite? Yeah. I'm like, so Fortnite is developed by Unreal Engine, and Unreal Engine is basically the game development engine that makes Fortnite, Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 7 Remake. It makes literally hundreds of games, from small independent games all the way up to the big blockbusters. And they actually have a visual coding environment that's very similar to this. So let's see if I can show you really quick. Oh, this is not what I want to show you. I do not want to show you my code. I want to show you a browser tab. And basically Unreal Engine. And it's called Blueprint Event Graph. And if you go and look in images, you'll see that there are blocks and you connect the blocks together. So kind of like how you did, and those are just some examples. So when people say visual coding is just for babies, that's not true at all. Visual coding is used in the real world all the time. And Unreal Engine is just one example of it. But another example is also Massive Software, which if you know, like the big battle scenes in Lord of the Rings, or what's the other TV show? Game of Thrones, that have like thousands of people fighting. That's all done using computer animation, and they have a visual programming environment where they connect blocks together like how we did in order to create the animations. So just a little aside.
So the big scene on Black Panther where all those people come from nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have like thousands and thousands of people coming out, and we don't have thousands and thousands of actors. It's all computer animation. Yeah. So let's go to the layout design, and let's actually, write a story, for example, and see how that works. So click on the button at the top.
Layout design.
Yep, right there. Okay. So we can, we can delete this page if you want and start from a new story. To delete the page, it's on the, yep, right there. You just delete, and let's just start from a blank page. So here you can like make your cover page, and let's just try adding like, you could go into backgrounds and choose a background you like, or images and choose some images that you like. So there's quite a lot that you can choose from. You can also just choose a color if you want.
This one? This one? You choose.
Great. So then you're going to go into text and you're going to grab your text title thing. And yep, you can
Add a title?
Yep, add a title, and then you can create a title for your story.
What is this going to be called?
Life is good.
Life is good. Okay. So great. So we have our title. Just like with PowerPoint, you can then go in and customize the font, color, all of that, make it bigger and smaller. You can make it bigger and smaller by also dragging the corners. And yep, center it however you want. Things like that. Great. So I'm not sure like how you normally scaffold creative writing or just writing in general for your students, but I typically like to do like, a brainstorming phase, or maybe like a drafting phase with maybe some prompts to help them come up with what they need to write. So if we're saying like, okay, our theme is superpowers or superheroes or something like that, then sometimes I would like to have a graphic organizer that says, okay, so what's your superhero name or superhero power, and why? What does it do? Maybe if you have a sidekick, who's your sidekick? Things like that. So you can start brainstorming what your story should be. And maybe like, do you have Batman and Superman? They kind of have like a side, a real life sort of job. Like, what would your real life job be when you're not doing superhero things like that, to just try to get students to really kind of think and be more creative about how they're going to write and what they're going to write about. So since we just kind of jumped right in, we don't really have a graphic organizer, but if you wanted to, you can actually create a graphic organizer on Elementari, publish it, and students can remix it, which copies that as a template for them to use. So I actually did that with a fairy tale unit, and I could just show you really quick, but
I like the idea of everything being on one platform. Yeah, I do like that idea.
Yeah, so I'll just show you. So I don't know if you can see very well, but here is my fractured fairy tale graphic organizer, and basically it just goes through like the assignment, kind of what is a fractured fairy tale, and then it has little speech bubbles where you would have to come up with 5 possible fairy tales that you would want to use. So for superpowers, it could be like, what are 5 superpowers that you can come up with, that you might want to write about? Maybe, I don't know, what are some of your ideas of good superpowers?
What would be good superpowers for our superhero? I'm gonna write them down.
Invisibility.
Invisibility.
Uh-huh.
Flight.
Invisibility. You said flying.
Super strength.
Super strength. Okay. That's 3.
Oh, okay. Freeze breath.
Freeze breath.
So when you sneeze, everyone freezes. Is that what it happens?
What it makes everybody just like be still. Okay.
Yeah, so if you don't have a graphic organizer, you can then also just have students just create a page and just do their bullet points or their cloud sort of ideas on a page on Elementary just to, figure things out and try things out. And so they have something written down if they're not writing it down on paper and pencil. So there's multiple ways that you kind of structure the beginning. And once you kind of have, let's say you pick invisibility, for example, you choose that you want invisibility to be your superpower, then you want to expand on that idea, right? So, like, what kind of things would you do if you're invisible? How would you use that superpower? Or maybe what are some drawbacks of this superpower? Because you can't be completely overpowered, right? You have to have maybe some weaknesses, or maybe something happens that because of your superpower, you weren't really expecting that. So thinking about those type of things. And then you would start thinking about, so once you have like your character, so you would want to develop your character, your superpower, what is your character like, that sort of thing, characterization. And once your characterization is done, then you want to move on to maybe the setting, the problem, the solution, just like how you would do for regular creative writing or just any writing project. So I don't know if you have a superpower you want to go ahead and do. So we could just write down a draft really quick. It doesn't have to be perfect, but then we can figure out how we can maybe add some cool stuff to your story.
Which one's your favorite? Which one are we using? Invisibility.
Okay, invisibility. Okay, so let's choose, let's create a new page and add a character. So you can add a new page by clicking on the plus page button, or there's a little downward triangle as well next to it. And then from there, you can duplicate the page, or you can choose one of the templates. So they're just very simple, but they allow you to, write without having your text being covered by the background image, for example. So let's go through and let's maybe add an image. So you can either add an image or you could kind of create your own image. So we have, if you go into the animations tab, yeah, you can choose like there's a boy character and you can customize that boy to have different hair.
You know which one you want?
Or if you could choose like some other random person if you want as well. Oh.
This guy?
Yep.
I knew he was gonna choose that guy.
Yeah. He's really popular. Okay, so let's add maybe some text. Maybe we could put at the bottom something like that introduces this guy. So, and then you can also add a speech bubble if you want, so you can make him say something.
So who is he? What are you gonna say?
Yeah, who is he?
I'm gonna say meet whoever this guy is. Who is he?
What's his name? Or what's his superhero name?
Super galactic.
Galactic. What is? He's invisible, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I can pull this over, right?
Yeah, so you can pull, yep, like that. And you can also align the text if you want to, whatever you want. Okay.
What do you said he could say something. Do you want him to say something, Paul? I mean, Kaden?
Yes.
That's your name is Kaden, right?
Okay.
Which one? What do you want him to say? Which bubble do you want to use? This one? This one? Okay. What is he going to say? I think I should move him here. So then, what is he going to say?
He's a rocket to prison.
Prepare to rocket. Is he putting somebody in prison?
Yeah.
Okay, he's putting somebody in prison. Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, so now we have, maybe let's add a background image to make it a little bit more fun. or a color or something.
Space. Look at space.
You can search.
Yeah, search to see if there's anything. Anything appears. Ah, we have some.
Here's one. This one?
What's that?
I don't think we can use this one.
I mean, you could use it. It'll just have a watermark.
Okay. You want to use that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So the text is a bit hard to read. That's okay for right now. So now
you can change the color.
Yeah, you could change the color.
There you go.
Perfect. So great. So we have Meet Super Galactic, the invisible superhero. And so now let's animate this a little bit to make him a little bit more fun and make the page a little bit more exciting. So in order to code anything, we need to go to the back side of the page, which is called the...
What's the back side called? Is it animations?
How do you go to the back side? Do you remember? The button near the top of the page.
Oh, this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're going to go to the event graph. So click on it, it'll flip it over.
Oh.
And here's where we're going to code. So something that can be kind of fun is maybe let's have a cool text effect, like a typewriter effect that says like when you have the meet your superhero sort of thing. So let's do that. And let's say like we want to do that on page start. So the event we're going to use is which event? If we want to do it, when are we going to do our animation? Yep. We're going to do
on page start, right?
Yep. Yep. Our animation is going to start on page start. And then we want a function. So our function tells us what we're going to do. It's our action. It's our instructions to the computer. And yep, you got it. Grab that over.
Okay.
Okay, and then what are we playing the text effect of? We need to grab the object. So which object?
Words, right? You want it to be what he says? We're going to animate what he says. Okay.
Okay, great.
So how do we connect them? We have to
drag it.
Drag it? I'll let you drop.
He's like, you're so slow. Why can't you just understand?
He does think that all the time.
No.
There you go. But are these two connected? The plate? Oh, yeah, you just connected them, right? Okay.
So then you can preview to see what it looks like.
Where's the preview, Kaden? Oh, thanks.
Okay, let's see. The text effect is doing, it's not really playing. Let's see if you can refresh the page and if it'll play. For some reason, I've been experiencing this problem on another computer as well. So let's see if that will fix it. Okay. Let's go back to the second page. Preview.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yes. Scratch does not do this.
He just said Scratch cannot do this.
So Scratch is really good at showing you how to do kind of every single step, but it makes it really difficult to create something cool within a short amount of time, I feel. So we're going to do a sequence of animations. Do you know what a sequence means?
A story?
Yeah, it could be in a story.
Sequence, yeah. Like an order, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just like in a story, you have a sequence. Just like when you have a recipe, you can have a sequence of what happens first, what happens second, and then what happens third. So we can do the same thing with code. And in coding, we can have functions in sequence. So let's exit out and let's try to maybe have a sequence where meet Super Galactic, the invisible superhero. It types in, and then after that finishes typing in, then we have the prepare to rocket to prison coming in afterwards. What do you think about that?
I think we could figure that out.
Okay. So let's just first get the blocks we need, and then we can figure out what order and how we can connect them.
So we need another text effect.
Yep.
Right? And then it's going to ask which object. And so we're going to grab, see, I know something, kid. So then we're going to grab these, but we want the meet super galactic, the invisible superhero. We want that first. Could we change the text effect?
Yeah, you can
from
change.
typewriter fade.
Yeah.
And so if we want that first, do we want to connect here? I don't know how to change that though.
Just try it. Just start clicking on things.
We click here to here. And can I delete this line? Ooh, boom. Look at you, mama. You're right. Look at me. So it'll do this one first, right? And so we want this connect. And then from here, what would happen here? No, here. Can we preview and see? Check. Okay, what do I get when I'm right? Oh! Oh, it worked! Oh, that is easier. I do like that. Isn't that easier?
Yes.
That's kind of cool.
All right, great. So you just did functions in sequence, and that is basically your algorithm. You just create your algorithm, your instructions for your computer. So let's exit out of that. And yeah, you picked it up right away. So basically when you have students do it, I would also suggest that you have the green block going left to right. So you have a visual of what the prop, like where the flow of the flow chart or your code should go. So that way you can just make it look prettier for those. No, not quite. Okay, that looks good. Okay, just untangle all the. So you want
untangle the.
Yeah, untangle.
Oh, this one should be first.
Yeah, because that one's first, and then this one is second. So those who are a little bit more visual can also see the connection.
Right.
And you should.
I think that makes it easier for me too. Right.
Yeah. So then you can think of like have you and the students follow the white triangles as like the arrows of where your code is going to go. So it starts.
I could see this also on like maybe like index cards or something to allow them to play with it first.
Yeah. As like
and talk through it, right? And talk through it before coming on here to check it out.
Definitely, yeah. That's a really great unplugged activity that you can do in like small workstations, and then they can just manipulate the index cards of what they're going to do. So we did functions in sequence, and the last thing I want to do is functions in parallel. So what do you think that means?
Well, parallel is that their parallel lines go on and don't touch. So parallel makes me think it's at the same time, maybe? Possibly? So like maybe functions that happen at the same time?
Maybe.
It's okay if you don't know. Don't worry.
We're totally guessing. We're just trying to use some context clues.
Really? But that's completely correct. So parallel, functions in parallel is at the same time. You're completely correct. And that's what we're going to do, is we're going to have functions play at the same time. So something that happens quite frequently when you create your story is that maybe you want to, for example, have a voiceover and have it play when the speech bubble comes up, because it's a dialogue, right? So you want to maybe have your character say something. So let's actually try doing that, and go to layout design to add a sound to the page. So you can also add background music, sound effects, and all that fun stuff. You can make it so when you click on him, he bounces, all sorts of things that you want to do. But for like English speaking skills purposes, we're going to record a voiceover.
Okay.
Yep. So you're going to allow access to your microphone. You're going to click on the gray circle. There's going to be a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and then you can read the text. It'll move up so you can actually read the text, and then we're going to code it to play. Okay? So you have to wait, wait for the 3, 2, 1.
Bottom one?
Which one are we reading? Is it gonna, it'll pop up for us to read?
Yeah, it'll pop up for you to read. So it'll move up so you can read the text. So you can read
so
either one, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so you're gonna read?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Prepare to rocket to prison.
Perfect. So you have a
Prepare to rocket to prison.
woo! So you can now trim it. So you see you have some extra space at the end, and then you can just trim the extra space at the end or the beginning, it doesn't matter. And when you're good with your trim, you press save your trim at the top.
Okay.
Yep. And then it'll save your trim. And then you want to name your recording. So you could just name it Prepare to Rocket. And then you press save. And this will save your sound to the page. So now you'll notice there's a little 1 circle, and that basically means that this sound exists on your page. If you want to preview it or delete it, you can click on the little note thing, yeah, right there, and you can preview and delete it and things like that. So let's go now. So the sound exists on your page, but we're not playing it yet. So let's go back to the event graph. And now we're going to play a recorded sound. So we need to grab that function.
You see something about play recorded sound?
Yeah, right there.
Grab that. Okay.
Yep. So you could just click on anything, yep, to close it. And so now,
would you suggest that we move this up here?
so that's if you want it in sequence. So
Okay.
if you want it to play after the typewriter, that's where you would put it. If you want to play
But if we want it,
yes, so you want to put it right there.
we want to play it because you said prepare to rocket to prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we want it to play as these words are coming on, right? Okay.
So
That's
now,
all I got, kid.
Now how do you connect it now?
Yeah, how do you connect it? That's a good. Do we connect this to this maybe? This to this maybe?
We connect it. We can connect the triangle to
the triangle to the triangle maybe?
Mm-hmm.
Gonna preview and see?
Yeah,
if it
preview
works?
and see.
Oh, we have to select the sound.
Yep.
We didn't put it which sound. Prepare to rocket. Okay, let's preview and see. Please work, please work.
Prepare to rocket to prison.
No, it didn't happen at the same time. So let's see. That it happened after. So
If we connect that triangle.
delete this one. Connect this triangle to this triangle, you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
This triangle to this triangle? Okay, let's try.
No, the other one.
What other one?
The one right there.
Connect this one?
No, the bottom one.
The bottom one?
Mm-hmm.
To what?
To the triangle at the bottom.
I thought I just did that. It won't let me, but it'll let me connect this one. Let's see. I think this is it. Maybe.
Prepare to rocket to prison.
Yay, it worked.
Okay, so that's kind of the example of how you can make the story interactive. Of course, the rest of the time is you would have to create your story and write it out and maybe put your different speech bubbles and different characters. But this gives you an idea of putting functions in sequence as well as in parallel. And that's really all you need to do kind of almost everything. So the rest of the time is up to you to just explore the different functions, the different animations. You can make things move, you can scale it. So I have a video that I can show you. Let's find it. Or actually, I have a story I can show you because it's actually a story I created that goes through all the different animations that you can kind of do on Elementary. And I'll just share my screen with you now. They can see it. You see my screen? Wonderful, beautiful.
Yeah. Your screen?
Great. So you can animate just like you did with the dragon, and you can animate the character that you've added to shoot or idle or jump. Those are all things you can do. You can add a text effect, which is what you just did. And you can also change the speed of the text effect so it matches if your voiceover, if you wanted to add a voiceover. You can fade things in. So you can fade and give it a direction. You can move. So this is the character you use, and you can make him run on the page. You can also...
We can go back and... So we could go back and make him run or fly.
Yeah, you can make him run.
Cool.
Or you can make him idle. Things like that. And like this, you can make things clickable. So when you click on something, maybe it plays a sound effect, or maybe a different speech bubble appears. In this case, you can also make things draggable. So like this is Alice in Wonderland, and you know, she eats the candy and then she becomes small.
On your screen, I see my screen.
On your screen, you see my screen. Let's see.
I don't hear Alice. I heard you say Alice in Wonderland, but I don't see her.
Okay, let's there we go. Sorry. So let's go back to Alice in Wonderland. So you can make things rotate like that. Blink. Bounce. When you click on the bunny, he bounces. And here's Alice in Wonderland. You can drag the candy over Alice, and then she becomes tiny. And for, like, we have a lot of these anime characters. These are popular more for older kids. But you can change the expression. Oh, I'm shy. I'm happy. This is really popular for different dramas that people like to do, especially girls. So, yep. So that kind of gives you an idea of that. And let's go back to oh, so then we stop my screen share, and great. So I don't know if you have anything that you want to do for your story. For the last part, you want to add some music, maybe write more about your superhero or make him animate. I don't know what you want to do. You just let me know, and then we can spend the rest of the time doing it together. What do you think?
What do you want
I put a villain in there on mine.
He wants to put a villain in the story.
He wants to put a villain? All right, great. So let's add a villain. So we could go back to layout design. So you could choose one of the animations, or you can search through the images and see what you come up with. You have different creatures, or most people just like there's an alien, so you can use the alien.
Oops.
Or you can go into images and you can find all sorts of things.
A pickle? An evil pickle?
So you can search through the
looking for?
category, and you can search. You can sort through the category for humanoids or creatures or different that.
All of these people look really nice.
Yeah, we have
They
some
look
pretty
like
amazing illustrators that contribute to the community. One of them is Len Smith, and he actually created Toontown and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So I always like to bring up that he has like way more years of experience than I have ever had, years in my life even. So he's pretty amazing. He does a ton of work for the kids. So yeah, you can
how
flip
can we
him.
turn him around?
Yeah, there's a little in the toolbar. You'll see that. Yeah, click on him first. Then in the toolbar, there's like a little water droplet, and then there's like a little flip. Go up, up. Not this toolbar, the one above, the left-hand side.
All right, here.
Yeah, this one. Yep, and he flips.
His head is really big. Do you want him to do something or say something?
Never defeat me.
You'll never defeat me. So we need to go here to the event graph, right?
So you want to have a.
He wants him to say, "You'll never defeat me." Oh,
Okay.
so I guess we want a speech bubble here, right? Which one? This one?
Yes.
Okay. Like he talks weird. Okay. You want to record it? Okay. So where do we go? Sounds, record a voiceover. Okay.
You will never defeat me. You'll never defeat me.
You want to do it over? Because we didn't catch the beginning.
It's okay.
Okay, go.
You will never defeat me. You will never defeat me.
Need to trim. See that flat line piece? And here. Save.
Mm-hmm.
You will never defeat me.
Are you good with that?
Mm-hmm.
Are you good with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You have to give it a name.
Never defeat me and save it. Now, can we add it to the event graph?
Mm-hmm.
Event graph needs to be next, right?
We go to
events. No.
Functions.
Play sound effect or play text. Play. Do you want the words to do anything, or do you just want them to pop up?
I'll just pop up.
Let them pop up. So we're gonna play a recorded sound, and so that's gonna be next, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then we select the sound, never defeat me. And we need to connect these.
Wait. But we didn't put the play text effect for it.
Do you want it to play it? You want a text effect?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you want to do another one of these, right?
I think we have to do another one.
You want to do another text effect? The text effect.
But we need a purple text effect.
And we need a purple one?
I think that's an effect.
No.
Object?
Where is it?
Objects.
Object? Oh, yeah, because it's an object. Okay, then we have to figure out where they go. So I'm going to delete. We can delete this, right? I think we can put them in the same order, huh? I'll let you do it. So the next text effect, that one is where? This one? This one needs to be moved. The green box. Can you click on the green box and click it, move it up? Yeah. She said it's better if it goes left to right. Yeah. And then, okay. So what do you want it to be a typewriter? Because it can also fade. If you click on typewriter right here, click on effect right here. You want it to be a typewriter again? I think it can do typewriter or fade. Click.
I think I'll do fade. No, typewriter.
Okay. And then, yeah. So you have to remember how to connect it.
Please.
Okay, let's preview and see if it works.
Prepare to rocket to prison. You will never defeat me.
Uh-oh. So we're missing the words, right? Let's see. It is right there. Let me see. What did we do wrong, kiddo?
It might be, you might need to, let's see. I think the typewriter effect sometimes is a little temperamental.
Let's try to yeah. We're gonna refresh. Because I think it's perfect. Okay, here we go.
Prepare to rocket to prison. You will never defeat me.
Yay! That was fun.
Great.
I think we could put this here too. I think we need a voice here. But.
So before we do a voice, just go back to the event graph really quick, and I just want to show you one little thing. So right now, what you're doing is you're saying after you play the text effect, then you want to play the recorded sound and then play the text effect. If your recorded sound is really, really long, sometimes the timing is kind of weird. So actually, you want to sequence after the play recorded sound, so that way it syncs kind of perfect. So right now you see everything is synced to the play text effect, but the best option would actually be to sync it to after the play recorded sound. So after the play recorded sound, yeah.
Move these?
Yep, like that. And then
she said that it's best to put the play recorded sound first.
Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, sometimes you have like your recorded sound would play before your text effect goes in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, let's see.
So actually you want to, okay.
Prepare to rocket to prison. You will never defeat me.
Does that make a difference? That made a difference?
So it's actually, instead of connecting it to the play text effect, you want to connect to the play record sound. So you want to sequence your play recorded sound. It doesn't really matter too much in this case because the text wasn't that long. But for example, if you have a really, really long like dialogue, and if the text effect doesn't match, or if you're using a different animation, such as you're using the fade instead of the text effect, then it matters. So basically, from the second play text effect, those connecting lines, you just want to remove them. The second one, not that one, the next, no, not that one. That one's good.
That one. This one, the short one.
No, the next one's over. The next one's over. Yeah, these ones.
These?
Yep, so get rid of those.
And this one too?
Yep. Yeah, and then you want to sequence them after the recording is done playing.
So should I connect these?
Yep, just like that. So it's just a small thing, but it makes a difference if you're using like the fade animation.
And then connect this?
Yep, like that. So all you're doing is you're saying after you play the recorded sound, then you want all the other functions to happen. Before you were saying after you play the text effect, then you want all the functions to happen. It's just a matter of waiting and the timing of things. That's all. So yeah, you can add a voiceover to the other one as well, if you want, or you can add a background music. That can be something that can be pretty fun as well. So.
Oh, want some background music? Mm-hmm. Do we go to sounds? Music? That sounds like murder, huh?
Well, it says horror mystery.
What is it?
That sounds good.
That sounds good? Okay, we added, we click the check.
Yep, that's it.
So will it, let's see what happens.
Prepare to rock it to prison.
I don't hear the sound. Where should the sound come in?
I think let's go to event and graph.
Go to event graph, maybe?
Mm-hmm. Go to your events.
Events? Okay.
No, go to functions.
Functions?
Okay, go down. Play music.
Play music? Where do we want that though?
We want it at the start.
At the start?
Mm-hmm.
So on page start? How does that work?
Push the triangle.
This one?
Yes.
And put it here? We can try and see.
Prepare to rock it to prison. You will never defeat me. Boom!
So it just plays over and oh look, because you can repeat yes or no. We want it to repeat?
Yes.
Yes. I'm glad he's here because I needed all the help I could get today.
Yeah, so the play music will play on other pages until you change the music or unless you stop the music. So if you create a second page, this riff will continue and continue and continue until you change the music. So maybe on the second page you want a different background music, for example, then they'll change to that background music.
How would we change the, oh, so you would have to add a different background music on the second page. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And then you could just play it just like you did before, and then it works perfectly. Anyway, well, thank you so much. It's already been an hour. I don't know if you have any questions or anything.
You have any questions? That was fun, huh?
Yes.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great. So just so people know, I am holding weekly coding club on Mondays as well as Wednesdays. Information for that is now finally on the website at elementary.io/clubs. And if you're interested in having a coding club in your school, feel free to reach out to me. And if you want to be a guest on this show, also feel free to reach out to me. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And that was really, really fun. So thank you.